Hey, it's Daniel, Powell Machine Inc., Powell Cams. Got another video today. We had a pallet of cam cores molested, murdered by the trucking company, and we having some problems getting them to pay for it. So I figured I'd just make a video about it, show you just some of the crap we got to deal with sometimes. But this ain't the first time this has happened. But hang loose and we'll get into it. All right, so we used R&L carriers all the time. The driver delivered here all the time. He knew us. Not knew us from delivering all the time, right? He was a great guy. We never had any problems. And then for some reason, R&L just got extremely high. I mean, they would, when we'd quote out the shipment, it would just be 50, 60% higher than everybody else. So we had to start using other people because unfortunately the shipping price has to be added to the price of the camcore, and that affects the finished price of the camshaft, unfortunately. So the cheaper we can ship it in here, then we can keep our prices low, because God, some of these places, man, for a small block Chevrolet hydraulic roller, they get like $475 or $500. It's just crazy. And we'd been like $380 or something for a long time, and we just went up, just cause everything is going up, right? But we kept it, we try to keep our prices as low as we can and still, make shop rate. So that's our goal. But so we would shop around, and we've used a bunch of different companies. And there's kind of two problems that really just chap my hind end. These trucking companies, and I don't know, we never had this problem with R&L ever. But since we have got away from R&L, we've had this happen recently. It just continues to happen. Used to, it would just be random, but now it's every single time. So these trucking companies, whichever one we use, when they get here, right, and keep in mind, we're a super small shop. So when the truck pulls up, in 5 minutes, he's unloaded, the paperwork signed, and he's on his way. If you go, and I've worked in big manufacturing facilities, and we've had to deliver because we used to do a lot of industrial machine work and fabrication. So we would make stuff or fabricate something and then have to go deliver it to, Michelin, Electrolux, places like that. And literally, this is what's mind boggling to me. When you go to one of these big plants, it's going to take you 20 minutes to an hour to get unloaded. Guaranteed. You got to go check in, the forklift driver's on break. It's going to be 20 minutes to an hour every single time. I've had it take longer than that. If they're really busy and you can't get to a loading dock, you might have to wait 20 minutes just to get in a loading dock. And then it's going to be another 20 minutes to an hour to get unloaded, paperwork signed, all that crap. So anyway, my point is here, 5 minutes in and out, you're done, right? Every time, the last probably 15 deliveries, they pop us with $100 residential delivery fee. Now, make that make sense. They should have $100 commercial delivery fee because here it's 5 minutes. At the big plant, it's an hour. That math don't work, right? And we've complained and called them, and hey, look, we are a legitimate incorporated business. We have a tax number. They don't care. They Google our address, and because Google says it's residential. But they don't care. I done tried. I'm like, it's not. I mean, it is a business. We are a business. They don't care. They don't care how many forklifts you got. They don't care how many employees you got. If Google says it's residential, it's residential. So they pop us what? So whatever the last 15. So that's $1,500 just gone, and we've got to wash that into the price of the camshaft. And I don't know how to get around it. I can't make Google, or whatever they're using, but they're looking it up some kind of way, and I can't make it because out here in the county there is no commercial residential. I mean, everything's residential. They don't list it another way. In the city where there's restrictions and codes, there's commercial and residential or dual purpose properties. But out here in the country, it's just one thing. There is no multiple choice, so it's irrelevant. And I try to explain all that to them, but anyway. So what we have had happen, and we got a bunch of pictures. I'm gonna put it all up. So the way camcorders come is a large. So it's on a pallet, and there's a cardboard box with a lid on it, and the and then they put and I'll put a picture up here, and so you can see. So it's a pallet with a cardboard box. It's got a cap on it, and then it's banded, and then it's shrink wrapped, and then they put a safety cone on top of it that says "Do not stack." So, and this is what a good one looks like when it gets here, right? This is how it should. And we done pulled the banding and the shrink wrap off, but you can see the cardboard is in good shape. The do not crush cone is in good shape, and the cone is there so they don't stack stuff on top of it. Because obviously cams have, journals and gears, and we can't have this stuff damaged or nicked or bent, because you can't sell a camshaft with a big gash or a dent in the journal. I mean, you don't want to buy that, and I don't want to sell it to you, right? So once it's dented or gashed, the core's garbage. We just have to chunk it in the trash. So anyway, so this has happened twice with two different trucking companies, but T-Force is the worst, right? So T-Force, we've quit using them because they just garbage. But they're not the cheapest, but they're probably next to the cheapest, and it's aggravating because once you get multiple deliveries, the driver knows the drill, right? He knows where to pull to. He knows he's got my number. He's like, you call me and say, hey, I'm 30 minutes out. I'm like, good, we're here, come on. And it just works really good. But when they keep destroying, $5,000 or $10,000 worth of camcorders, right, we got to do something else. It's not good. And then the other companies, we haven't had a whole lot better success. I mean, it's hit and miss. You get one pallet that's perfect, and the next pallet's beat to death. And sometimes the pallets beat to death, but the cores are fine. Sometimes the pallets beat to death, and the cores are beat to death. And there's just not a good way. I mean, these trucking companies, they don't care. This stuff goes to a warehouse or an intermediate hub. It's offloaded. They shove this stuff around. They don't care. They slam it back on the truck. I mean, there's a bunch of $8 hour idiots in the warehouse running forklifts 100 miles an hour, and they don't care. I mean, I actually had to go to a terminal to pick up some cams because they wouldn't deliver. They kept riding them around and they wouldn't deliver them, and they've been out riding them around for like 2 weeks. And I'd done called them 14 times, and I'm like, look, man, every time you ride them around, you risk the damaging them more and more and more. So we finally said, look, don't ride them around no more. Leave them in the warehouse. I'll go up there and get them. And I had to go up to the hub. Who was that? I'll think about it. I don't remember which company it was, but we had to go up to the hub. Might have been Yellow. I think it was yellow freight, to the hub. And dude, you ought to seen them in there. I mean, they was ripping and stomping and shoving. I mean, just beating people's stuff to death. And then you wonder why you get something and it's all wrecked. Well, that's why. I mean, just crazy people that can't drive and no supervision, or if it's got supervision, they don't care, right? So here is, so we're gonna go through some of this. So here is the T-Force truck, right? And then this is the pallet that come off the truck when they open the door. This is what it looked like. So obviously you can say the pallet's just molested. And I'm like, oh Lord, here we go, And so I told the driver, I'm like, man, this pallet's torn to pieces. So we pulled the lid up, and of course, not only is the do not stack cone, it's been stacked, but the whole cone is tore off. The cone ain't even there. So we get it open, we inspect a couple of cores, and there's dents and dings and chipped gears. So I tell the driver, I was like, we're going to have to make some notes, and I'm going to have to go through this pallet and see how many's bad and see how many not. So on the delivery ticket, we make notes. Pallets destroyed, contents is damaged, blah, 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 blah. So we thought with all of that, right, T-Force would send us some information to, make a claim or whatever. We didn't hear a word, nothing. So Alicia called T-Force with the BOL number, and they act like they didn't have a clue about it. And I'm like, well, it's right on the ticket, right? We made notes, we done everything. The driver called it in. I mean, I literally heard him call it in, right? The damaged pallet, blah, blah. So they had no idea anything about it. So they sent us a form. We filled out the form, got it all done, sent it in. 2 months go by, nothing. And we're talking about, I don't remember, $7,000 or $8,000 worth of camcorders, something like that. Six or 7,000. I don't remember. It was somewhere. It was over $5,000 worth of camcorders. And so we don't hear anything. Alicia calls. She's passed around 13 times. Finally gets to somebody after being on the phone for an hour. And, oh, yeah, well, let me check into that and I'll call you back. Nothing. Well, it goes another 3 or 4 weeks, month, nothing. She calls again. Same thing. They pass her around 14, 15 different people. Finally get somewhere. Oh, yeah, well, let me look into that. She's like, well, that's what she said last time. Oh, yeah, well, let me check on it, and I'll see if I can get it expedited. We'll let you know something. Not a word, nothing. So this has went on for 8 months. That's why I'm making this video. Because these people, like, I can't do anything to them, but I can do this. I can let the YouTube world know that multi-million-dollar corporations are essentially stealing and robbing small independent businesses. And it's already hard enough to make a living in this world already without humongous companies just trying to stomp on you, right? And that's exactly what's happening. They know that there ain't a thing in the world that I can do to them. So therefore, they have no intention of paying for that pallet of murdered cores. And they're going to just keep checking on it till we just get tired and give up. And that's exactly what I've had UPS do, the exact same thing. Exact same thing. They will pass you around to the next. Oh, you need to talk to so-and-so, and they'll transfer you. Oh, you need to talk to so-and-so. And then eventually they just hang up on you, right? And then you have to go through all that again. I've had it happen. But, and I mean, I'm sure somewhere in the training manual, they're like, just keep passing them around, and they'll finally hang up. And that's what they count on. They count on you giving up. And then they can just keep all that money and move right on. They don't care. So, this kind of stuff is just one more of them Some days, I just want to go get a job because of this crap right here. So then we have to turn around after all of this. They won't pay for the cores. We got all these cores murdered. We need to make product. Now I've got to order more cores, right? I done paid for these. Now I got to order a whole nother pallet of $6,000 or $7,000 worth of cores and hope they get here without being damaged because there's no other way to get them here. I mean, I can't drive to Michigan every couple of months and pick up cores. I mean, we just sure enough go out of business. So it's just depressing sometimes, some of this crap you got to deal with. And I just want, again, this platform is all I got, right? It's the only way that I can bring to light the if you want to call it an injustice or issues that small and I know other small business people have these same issues. I hear them tell it, but they may or may not have an outlet like this to be able to expose these companies that's doing this kind of crap, right? And so, on behalf of all of those people, I hope that this does some good. And it might not do nothing, right? No, nothing might ever come of it other than, I make $5 from y'all watching it. Other than that, nothing may come of it. And that's fine. But at the end of the day, here it is, and I'm going to tell it. So, but anyway, this is just, it is what it is, but I just wanted to share it, show some of these pictures and stuff, some of this crap we got to deal with. But hopefully that was interesting, and it wasn't a bitch fest. It was just, we got to put this stuff out there. These people that are doing stuff like this need to be held accountable. And this is the only way we can do it. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one.